We're back! So we're on part 2. Baby didn't do it. Englishwoman most likely maybe did it, but that could be still a red herring. It's Phoenix Wright Games after all. Oh, right, I forgot everyone's names. I kind of smidgely forgot their names too. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. That was superb. My heart was in my mouth the entire time. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there. You were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth. It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you started finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer. Ugh, forget it, it's terrifying. If I get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of a courtroom again. He laughs like he's gonna frame me for murder later. Anyway, it looks like we've exposed your Phantom Lady at last. Miss Jezail Brett, a student from Great Britain, is she? That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There was a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along. Yes, you have, haven't you? I might not be overly confident in the courtroom. Oh, I might not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are the one thing I'm sure of. Yes, I can see that. So, about this young gentlewoman. Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. Did you see what happened with that? No, I didn't see anything of it. Yeah, I was kind of staring at a gun and a dead body. I was just on my way out of the restaurant myself. Then, on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table, I noticed there was a gun lying on the floor. And just after I bent down and picked it up... Bang. I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot came from. The waiter ran over to me, looking as white as a sheet. And he bundled me into some sort of small pantry next to... Why did we not mention this? Oh my god, these people are bad at being in court. Fast thinking by the detective. He apprehended the suspect without a moment's delay. Yeah, and because I was shut in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside in the dining area.
Ah, there you are. Well done, both of you.
Yeah, figured. Oh, she just disappeared again. Professor Mikotoba.
Well, it seems I was right. The pair of you make an outstanding team. You've exceeded my expectations, I have to say.
Yes, it seems you planned this from the start. Pretty sus. Did you murder somebody?
You arranged things so that I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial. Our modern country is still in its infancy. Our justice system even more so. Which is why I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. I want to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour to Great Britain being cancelled.
Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, if I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life. Saying we're ride together, die together. I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyway. What? What are you saying, Kazuma?
So that is your stance. I was afraid you'd feel that way.
Kazuma?
Well then, it looks like it all comes down to you, young man.
Okay, cool. Everyone stare at me. To me?
Yes. You need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. I must say, I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case.
Oh, of course you do. Come to think of it, he said the same thing earlier this morning, didn't he? If you don't mind me asking, Professor, did you know the victim?
Yes, I did. As you are probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UMA, and it was I who invited him.
Murderer. Oh, I see. I didn't know that before.
Anyway, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible.
But let's not forget who we're going up against. The gentlewoman whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide.
Everyone just crossed arms on me. Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. But I have no doubt that you pair will put up a good fight, right to the last. Best of luck.
Thanks!
Now then. I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There's something I think we may need.
Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-sama. Defendant Naruhodo! Court recess is over. Go back inside. It's time. Let's get back to it, partner. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow.
Before those old fossils know what hits. I'm sorry, hold on. 1 second. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow before those old fossils know what's hit them.
Okay. Just checking it wasn't me. Kazuma?
What?
Thanks, really. You're a pal. A real pal, partner.
What for?
Well, if you hadn't said you had believed in me, then I'm fairly sure I'd already been found guilty by now.
Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer and as a friend.
Coming from you, that means a lot. If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really going to give up on his dream of studying abroad. That's the kind of true friend he... I mean, what? He's going to get executed right with me. Ride or die? Oh, ride or die. So this isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose. Alright then. I'll save the thank yous for after the trial.
You can treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals I like from Yume Cafeteria on University Street. Really? Just the nice university food? With an extra large portion, of course.
Oh, right. Crap. Like I said, I kind of forgot everyone's voices for everything. Whoops. Oh, camera, come back. Okay, sorry. I moved too much.
The court hereby resumes the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Prosecutor Aochi, have you managed to subpoena the witness?
Yes, Your Excellency, against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution is now under rather painful scrutiny from the government.
I mean, that would be the police, not me, right?
Yeah, not me.
Sorry, but not really.
Let the government scrutinize, that's their job. It's nothing to worry about.
It's highly unlikely that the good relations we forged with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. But you'll still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down and our nation founders? Flounders?
My gosh. Again, sorry. Super sorry.
If the friendship between our nations is really so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. You really have nothing to worry about, Ryunosuke.
What do you mean?
A secret trial, anxiety over some foreign government's opinions, a bungled investigation, missing witnesses. Is this what our nation's justice system is? Is this what the Supreme Court of Japan or of England?
Shut up, you jumped up rookie boy. You and your friend know nothing. Nothing of the situation our nation finds itself in.
Oh, you just... okay, cool.
By aligning ourselves with this great world power, we'll become strong. Diplomacy has never been more critical. Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures.
I won't deny that I'm no expert. I'm just a student. And one who could arguably study harder, too. But standing here now in our Supreme Court, there is one thing I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all. Well said, Ryunosuke, despite the wide-eyed look of terror.
You little brats!
Thank you, Counsel. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system, and exists solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain,
Miss Jezail Brett, and I cannot do a British accent whatsoever, so don't expect one.
Yes. Your Excellency.
Don't die. That is a hat. And I kind of love her for it.
Well,
Oh my gosh. Sorry.
well, what a delight it is to welcome such a fine gentlewoman to Japan, and from such a distant land.
tea. Someone bring English tea. In England, no discussions take place without tea.
Is that true? Wait, are we in Japan? Don't they drink a lot of tea too? I say as I don't just have like coffee in front of me, like the American that I am. No idea.
So, ahem. Could we please possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court?
Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I have been working undercover as the head waiter at the Le Carnival. But my
Yes, we all know you already.
Inspector Hosonaga, where are your manners? In England, it's always ladies first.
Is that true?
No idea.
More importantly, a little earlier today you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are the one thing you're sure of. Yeah, I think I did say that, didn't I? I know what he's insinuating here. Your description for this amazing sight was simply a woman. Sorry, Ryunosuke, but powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking. Yeah, guilty. Yeah, I could have mentioned giant swan hat.
My dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please.
Of course you have a mask on. Oh, cool. I didn't even pretend to make a voice for you. That's not even like Dr. Cursive, is it? There are 0 J's here, ma'am.
I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but
What? That's not... Okay, I get it. So it's just what English is supposed to... Got it. They're just scribbles in cursive. Oh, wait, no, I don't trust this. Okay, hold on. He's a liar. So having him translate and we don't have a translator? He could be lying.
The lady says her name is Jezail Brett. She comes from London, England. She is a visiting research student currently enrolled in Yemen University's medical faculty.
oh my, what a rare treat to hear the dulcet tones of delightful language of the British people.
Watch her have like a total Cockney accent. Not saying it's a bad accent, I'm just saying, you know, there's like the fancy British accents that you hear in like American movies, and then, you know, there's like other region accents. Everyone knows what I'm trying to say, right? I'm not being rude, right?
I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it was as beautiful as a hummingbird song.
As far as I can tell, the detective is translating her words faithfully enough. Oh, okay, so you kind of do... I mean, you are going to study abroad there, so I think you would have some basic English? I don't know. Yeah, I agree. You will obviously do fine in England, Kazuma. Her English doesn't rattle you at all, does it? Nor you. You're clearly been paying... Oh, wait! But if I know, why did I see the subtitles and I can't read it?
The court thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Now, if we may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett. 3 days ago, at a restaurant called Le Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct?
Nope, that's way too short.
She says yes.
This could take some time.
So even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese.
Okay, I better not say no. That was a lot. Okay.
She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says that she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately.
Interesting. When you're the one who engineered her escape.
I was just following special orders from the Bureau.
Well now, dear lady, would you be so kind as to cast your eyes over this photographic print? Seeing as you were so unfortunately present at the scene of the crime, could it be that your resplendent eyes caught sight of the wicked perpetrator, perhaps?
Apparently it was a very frightening and sorrowful sight. Do you mean to say? Yes. It would appear the lady did witness the crime.
Oh my god. How do we trust anything? Why is this court not this all just thrown out?
The very moment the accused, standing right there in this courtroom,
She didn't point, so...
shot the victim in cold blood.
Oh, she is...
Okay. Order in the court.
Did you hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have an absolutely conclusive witness statement.
Well, looks like it's clear now. Clear who our real enemy is.
Yeah, let's fight her. Wait, how am I supposed to find things if I can't understand, right?
Unfortunately, I will have to ask you to formally testify, if you please. Kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described. Oh, right, the guy's gonna translate.
Okay. Also, we are not... It's gotta be against the law. I know law is just starting, but to have a mask on in court. Unless you're a luchador, I assume. Okay, let's do this. I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beef steak. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, and they got into a fierce argument. Then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. You would think I would shoot you too if I did that, because you're a clear witness. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the I couldn't be. Oh, whoa. No, I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all.
Objection!
Quiet, you filthy wretch. Look at you, you black-hearted blackguard. And look at this snow... Oh, okay. Nope. This is awkward.
Oh, boy.
You're still making the same mistakes, Ryunosuke. You mustn't blurt out when you're goaded like that. That's a lesson you need to learn.
But he's so annoying.
Of course, I was at the scene as well. I took statements from this lady and 2 witnesses who testified before and reported back to the Bureau.
Yet you did not bring any of those statements to court, so...
It was decided that Miss Brett was not involved, so I let her go.
The testimonies of the last 2 witnesses were completely worthless, however. Well, even so, on the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. As you can see, there is nowhere about her person she could conceal. Really? I think there's nowhere in this poofy outfit. I would think she could hide a gun almost anywhere in that outfit she wanted to.
Unless and until the precise location where the witness is to have hidden a weapon can be shown, this is moot.
There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. Those are the witness's own words on the matter.
That's ridiculous.
Nope, we're not lifting up her dress to prove it, though. Yeah, don't think about doing anything rash, Ryunosuke. But I didn't fire the gun, I picked it up. There must have been another gun there that day. You're right about that. Yeah, there's probably a secret American underneath that dress. You're right about that, which means this lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yes, and that's what we have to prove now. And to do so, we'll need to pull her testimony apart. The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
Oh, yeah, sure, Your Excellency.
Alright, let's do it. Should be pretty easy to prove this. Alright, slightly late. Let's press the heck out of that. After 2 p.m. in fact. That's quite a late lunch, isn't it? Honestly, that's kind of rude. Let's not say that.
You don't keep up the latest fashions from Britain, do you? Late lunches are in vogue, isn't that right?
No.
Oh!
A decisive English no has quite a sting to it. The gentlewoman is currently working in the victim's research laboratory, it seems. So it was apparently a daily occurrence that they would lunch together. But on the day in question, the victim had another appointment at the clinic first. Yeah, which we can prove from the medical report card that was submitted as evidence earlier. That's right. Miss Brett and the victim went to lunch following the victim's treatment, which is why it was so late. Also kind of judging for having a 2 p.m. lunch. Yes, that makes perfect sense.
Such wonderful logic. What a shining example of English intelligence this fine gentlewoman is.
Oh my god, can we all stop kissing her ass? So you both arrived at the restaurant. What happened next? The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beef steak.
Yes!
He was unable to eat, you say? And that was because he just had a tooth removed at the Hoda clinic, correct? That's right. Just to actually check with the witness before answering. Was Miss Brett aware of the fact? It seems so, yes. She heard that the professor was to have some dental treatment. So that, okay, next question though, is why the beef is on his side of the table, not her side of the table? Like, did she go like, and shove it before she, I don't know. That's suspicious too. So that would mean that it was you who ate the steak pictured here? Is that right, Miss Brett? That's right, yes. The picture up there shows the table exactly as it was left after the horror. Okay, yeah, so again. Yeah.
Dear me, what a harrowing experience. To have traveled to a distant island on the far side of the world and be embroiled in such a tragic incident. Have no fear, my dear lady. I swear I will crush the evil fiend that has subjected you to this terrible plight.
So the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all. That's right. Other than some carbonated water. Just water? Yes, the professor was unable to eat, but he had been given permission to drink water. So it appears that the diners toasted their lunch with a glass of water each. They each raised a glass of carbonated water? What do you think, Ryunosuke, about the witness's last statement? Meaningful! Last statement of yours, Miss Brett, has a profound bearing on this case.
Well, how How fascinating. Do tell us, what is this profound bearing?
The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. The defense calls for the witness's last statement to be formally added to the testimony.
Humph. Well, say sip, counsel.
Very well, Miss Brett. Kindly repeat what you just said to be added to your official testimony. Gladly, she said. That was brilliant, Kazuma. I'm gonna remember that one. Which one? The significance will be apparent when the time is right? I could really use that phrase. I hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that, Ryunosuke. Okay. Okay, hold on. So, present. Can I just look at this? Examine? Yeah, there's one glass. There is only one glass here. And again, this feels like it's on the wrong side. Okay, so... I think he's saying present. Present?
Yes!
Yeah, where's your glass? I was gonna say woman, I felt real rude. That's it. Let me just confirm something, please. It's with this photographic print. Just a short while ago, you spoke of this print showing the victim's table at the crime scene. And that it was exactly as it was left. That is correct, the lady says. Well, that it's odd, very odd.
Dear me, what is the odd in the defense's what's odd is the defense's inability to express itself.
Ryunosuke, what is it about the print that looks odd to you?
Well, obviously, it's the cheers. The cheers?
Miss Brett just told us that she and the professor said cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true, there should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1. Ah. You're quite right, Counsel. There's only 1 glass. She just chugged the whole bottle of water.
Objection!
Are we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over...
Nope, not even attempting that one.
What possible difference does the presence or absence of a glass make in this case?
Objection!
Stop saying it! Could it be the detective here removed a glass from the table to conceal the lady's presence? Of course not. I would never do something so reckless. You moved a whole person! You moved a whole person! Sorry. This is... I can only imagine how frustrating this would be if you were on trial and everyone just kept lying and be like, I would never lie. But there should have been 2 glasses on the table. Or are you gonna try and tell me you can clink with only 1? You're quite right. I certainly took 2 glasses to the table. She ate it. She ate the whole glass. It's very British nowadays to do so. Inspector, what did the lady say? It would seem that it was Miss Brett who took the glass from the table. What? It was all so terrifying, everything that happened. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact that I'd been there at all, she's saying. Good gracious. Are we not at all suspicious? Really? Sorry.
There, as I assured the court before, this is of no consequence at all. Please! You must remember that this student had just murdered this lady's luncheon companion before her very eyes. Who could blame her for concealing a glass or 2 in their state disarray?
That's absurd.
Oh, really? So do we take it that you are now going to accuse this vulnerable young beautiful woman of mischief? Or murder? What?
This can't be put down to mischief. I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene. In my pocket, of course. It would seem that she slipped it into a small handbag.
Cool. A gun handbag. A handbag, you say?
Yes, Your Excellency. A small handheld pouch commonly carried by well-to-do women in England.
So, the beautiful lady has very graciously explained how and why she moved the glass from the scene now. However, the fact remains that this glass has absolutely no bearing on the case. This student has been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning, but in the end it comes to nothing. No more pretentious accusations. You've wasted enough time already.
Indeed. Oh my god, really? The lady has offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she moved this glass. To think henceforth, we can consider the matter to have no bearing on the case. Counsel for the defense, are you in agreement?
Well, I don't know really.
If you want to pursue this matter further, you're going to need to show that it has some deeper significance.
Yeah, I know. Like she brought a gun in a handbag. So she took the glass away in her handbag.
So the handbag.
Wait, the lady put the glass in her handbag, you say?
Yes, do try to keep up. It's already been explained to the court that all English gentlewomen carry handbags for small items.
Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Brett stated following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. But what she forgot to mention was her handbag, in which it would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun.
You're right.
Well done, partner. I had a feeling you'd pick up on that too.
What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard?
It's really very simple. The gunshot was heard when the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. As he didn't fire that gun, we can deduce there must have been another firearm on the scene. The true murder weapon, if you will.
You can't seriously be suggesting.
Inspector Osanaga?
Yes?
Did you or did you not search Miss Jezail Brett's handbag on the day of the murder?
No, sir, I did not.
Yeah, thought so. In other words, another gun, the one that was actually used to kill the professor, could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag.
No.
Order, order, order.
What is the meaning of this, Inspector?
The meaning of what, Prosecutor Ouchie?
Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag and show you the contents at the time? Thanks to your bungling incompetence, now she has to endure all these uncomfortable accusations.
Brilliant work, partner.
Now you have a chance to expose the real woman behind the mask.
Do you think so, Cosima?
Again. Dying.
Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly you have no faith in the lying police officer who's put me up for this murder. As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting. Simply because it was unnecessary. In what way?
I have to thank the student lawyer, really. I have a piece of evidence here that I had completely
It doesn't work that way. It does not work that way.
This photographic print. This print is a photograph that I thought would be prudent to take immediately after the shooting. Okay, but we're looking at this. Is this a bull? The Chicago Bulls symbol? But upside down? As you can see, it clearly shows Miss Brett's handbag. Well, I never. You can see right through what's inside. That's right. Apparently, meshwork bags like this are the height of fashion in London at the moment. So the contents are clearly visible. Exactly, so there was no need to search the lady's handbag.
If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious.
Huh?
As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilt here. How excited the fact that she hid the fact she was there. Thank you for helping to prove that, Naruhodo-san. Order. Inspector Hosonaga, you will submit that print as evidence at once. Certainly, Your Excellency. Alright, time to inspect some things. I think you've had long enough to cross-examine the witness counsel.
No.
The court has now been shown considerable evidence. As the photographic print just submitted into the court appears to have no further significance, I am satisfied that there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my... Why do you need this to be so fast?
Indeed, and there is only one logical conclusion. That the pathetic rookie slumped over the bench before us is the only possible perpetrator of this crime.
No. Just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around. I'm in a worse situation than I was at the start. Kazuma? I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. Now that the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no way to force the trial to continue. Wait, what? You mean this is it?
I must say, you put up quite a fight for a rookie student. But the weak are meat while the strong eat. You're wasting your time. There's no way to defeat true justice.
Hold on.
A fact that you can chew on your heart's content from the inside of your cell.
Oh, okay, you're not getting death penalty. That's nice. This can't be happening. Am I really going to be found guilty of a crime that I didn't commit? And Kazuma doesn't believe in me anymore? Or the fact that his dream of going to study in Great Britain will slip through his fingers? Kazuma? What? Is there really no chance of turning this trial around? You heard the judge. There's nothing about the last photograph the detective produced that we can contest. Which means there's no basis on which we can argue for the trial to continue. Well, I mean, let me look at it. Very well. I will now proceed immediately to the ruling.
It seems you'll be able to report to the British government on time after all.
That smug little... Ryunosuke Naruhodo, having considered all of the evidence placed before me, I hereby find you, yes. Wait, Your Excellency. Ryunosuke? I don't think you can rule this case yet.
This amateurness is getting tedious. When His Excellency deems that the trial is over, he gives his ruling. That is the most basic protocol of the courtroom.
Yes.
Your Excellency, just a moment ago, you said this. As the photographic print just submitted appears to have no further significance. There's no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Now that means if there was a problem with the evidence, some significant detail, I mean... then ruling on the case at this time would be out of the question.
Objection!
This is blatant straw clutching. Look at this photographic print. All it shows is the handbag. This gentleman...
Okay, hold on. Court record. Okay, so we know this picture... examine. Has a symbol right here. This has gotta be important. So let's go back and look at another photo of the guy. Do we have any other photos of... Oh, we don't have any other photos of him. Okay. It's important.
All it shows... Oh, never mind. There can be no problem with this evidence.
Better know what you're doing, Ryunosuke. I understand your objection, counsel. Certainly. The new evidence submitted by the detective is not undergone... Yes, thank you. the court's scrutiny. However, I fail to see how we can glean any new information from this handbag.
My thoughts exactly. Really, the prosecution is becoming tired as rookies' desperate wheezes.
Yeah, I'm desperate. This isn't a wheeze. There's something about this photograph which just doesn't seem right. If only I put my finger on it. Very well, I will grant the defense one final opportunity.
Huh? What?
But be warned that if I am unsatisfied... Oh my god, why are you threatening me like that? Okay. But be warned that if I am unsatisfied by your response here, the trial will be over with immediate effect. Do I make myself clear, counsel?
Yeah, Your Excellency.
So, taking a look at the photographic print Inspector Hosonaga submitted before. We'll identify for the court where this print we see a significant detail. This. Okay, hold on. Just let me check that it's not going to do anything weird, right? Okay. And...
Yes!
Look at this here! It's a very unusual mark for the victim's wrist. That is true. It looks almost like a burn of some description.
Objection!
Dear me, I was pondering what new piffle you would come out with. A burn, you say, on the victim's wrist. Certainly has nothing to do whatsoever with the magnificent lady's handbag.
Yes, that is a burn mark. You're right. Go on, Inspector. The police coroner also noticed it when he was performing the post-mortem examination. It was deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so he didn't note it in his report.
What did I tell you? In any case, we have no idea when the victim suffered this burn, do we? And no possible way of knowing either.
It's a burn mark? Yeah, the more I look at it, the more I find myself intrigued by this curious shape of a mark. However, as Prosecutor Auchi points out, unless a firm connection to the case can be shown, I cannot allow any further time to be spent on the precise details of this burn. Excuse me, Your Excellency. It would seem Miss Brett has a lunch appointment with the dean and the other university staff. You're in court, doesn't matter. She would like to know if she may be excused from the stand now.
Oh, of course, dear lady. We shan't hold you up any longer. I'm quite sure His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyway.
What's your thing on this, Rinosuke? Do you believe this burn has something to do with the case? To be honest, I'm not really sure. If I don't keep pushing, then it's all over. So I was thinking I should keep digging and digging, in the hope that I might uncover something else useful. Yes, you're right.
I am?
If we can just link that burn to the case, if we can do that, we might be able to prise this shutting back door back. If we can do that, we might be able to prise this shutting door back open again.
Just give up, counsel. You can't possibly hope to do that.
Indeed. I'm afraid that without evidence, I can't allow you to pursue what is little more than conjecture. But if we had evidence... Evidence that irrefutably linked the burn on the victim's wrist to the case, would you allow it? I would, yes. To tell the truth, I hadn't noticed that burn. But as soon as you pointed out, what I did notice was the color draining from Miss Brett's face.
Really?
I had to find some link between that burn and the case. Okay, it's the shape of something we have already then, right? This is the moment of truth. It's time to find some evidence that proves what that burn really means. So then, the defense will now present its evidence to the court. The evidence that demonstrates an... Okay, so it's bowl-shaped. A bowl-shaped thing. Oh my goodness. Alright, hold on. I need to examine the plate. It's the plate. He burned himself on the plate. Present.
Yes!
Did it! What's this, counsel? Yet another print. Okay, so it means he died, fell on the food. So he was facing her. That's what it is.
Yeah?
Yes, Yes, Your Excellency. I believe photographic prints are an amazing invention. When we humans look at the scene, we miss things. But in a photograph, things we may have overlooked at the time are recorded forevermore.
Do hurry up, Rookie. What are you trying to say? To inconvenience this poor lady any further really would be quite inexcusable.
Actually, we may need you to stay with us a little longer if you don't mind, Miss Brett. You see, it's very clearly visible in this other photograph. How did the victim come to have that unusually shaped burn on his wrist? The reason is recorded here forevermore.
What? How?
Objection!
I'm objecting, I'm showing you.
You can't fool me with your little bluffs, boy. If that's your game, then let's see how it plays out. Show the court exactly what you mean. What is in this photograph that explains the reason for the victim's burn? This.
Yes!
The beefsteak?
Actually, the point is the metal plate the steak was served on.
The plate?
Ah!
Your Excellency, are you alright?
As you can see, there's an emblem on the plate. I guess it was some sort of trademark of Le Carnival.
Ah, as a waiter who was undercover for a long time, I should have noticed that.
The emblem on the plate. And the victim's burn.
Yeah, so he's facing the table eating the food. That would explain. Okay, so I was dumb and thinking the whole table was moved, when really he was just facing the other direction and then shot.
Are exactly the same shape.
Ah!
Ryunosuke, you're genius. You're spot on. Which means the victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant.
Objection!
But even if that's the case, we can't know if it happened the day in question or not. It could have been the day before, the day before that. It most likely happened at some other unrelated time.
Well,
Prove it! Prove it!
Objection!
Sadly, Prosecutor Ouchie, the chances of that are extremely slim.
thanks.
Why?
The outline of the burn is clearly discernible. Such a serious injury would have caused quite a commotion at the restaurant.
Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Host? Yeah, because he burned us at the restaurant, they have been responsible, and, you know...
Yeah.
And he would have known.
I can't imagine having missed such a terrible disaster, certainly.
But...
I would say, looking at the picture of the wound, that it wasn't suffered very long ago. And although it's not a particularly large burn, it's extremely well defined, as the defense just pointed out, which means, yeah, he was on it for a long period of time and not going, ah! There's no mild burn, that's for sure.
He was branded.
Can you be more specific, Inspector?
Well, let's see. If the plate was at around 90 degrees centigrade... Centigrade?
A burn like that would have taken around 3 seconds.
It's inconceivable that a victim wouldn't have let out a scream of pain then.
I've been investigating the restaurant. I've been investigating at the restaurant for several weeks already, but I've not heard anyone scream at all. As the head waiter of Le Carnival, I had no days off. 7 days a week, 24 hours. I can testify that. I'm not gonna say that because you know that puts me in danger. I can testify that without any hesitation.
But you're a detective, not a waiter.
Yeah, he's a detective.
Yes!
There you have it. Something isn't right here. As the detective said, anyone who burned themselves with a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds would scream in pain, or at least go ouchie.
But there's no question of that.
And yet, Inspector Hosonaga never heard the professor scream, not on that day or any day before it. Yeah, that's right. And the strange thing is, on the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either. What do you suggest? Oh, was he poisoned and then shot? Right? No. Well, the professor had carelessly laid his wrist on the plate for anything like 3 seconds that day.
That would be beyond careless, I think, Counsel.
Then the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, the old antique dealer, all of us without any question would have heard him scream. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Ouchie?
Oh, Well, yes, I suppose.
So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream? Because he was dead. I almost don't believe it. Ryunosuke, do you think? Can it really be true? I never dreamt we'd arrive at a conclusion like this, but I'm starting to think that maybe we've been led into a terrible trap. There's only one explanation I can think that makes sense of this apparent impossibility. On the day in question when he suffered the burn to his wrist, Dr. Wilson was already deceased. No man can remain silent while his wrist is burning on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds. That's clearly impossible, apart from in one particular situation.
Counsel? Are you suggesting?
Yes, sir, Your Honor. Yes, it's only possible if the man was already dead.
Already
Dead?
Knowing what we know now, it's the only possible explanation. When the beefsteak was brought to Dr. Wilson's table that day, the professor was already dead.
That's madness.
Order, please, counsel. Explain this absurd notion at once. The victim was killed by a gunshot.
Do we know this?
That's right. That's absolutely right, Excellency. This is just another ridiculous play by the rookie student, but clearly he has no grasp with the facts.
Objection!
No, Prosecutor Ouchie. It is you who has no grasp of the facts.
You just went, nah, you.
I beg your pardon?
As soon as it became apparent that the victim had suffered the burn while at the restaurant, this whole case was turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that yet?
Erg.
Your Excellency, the court must hear from this witness again. If it's true, as we now believe, that the victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard, it's highly likely that Miss Brett knows something about it. Incredible. I certainly didn't anticipate this twist of events.
I'm sorry to say, Miss Brett, that you will have to forget your luncheon engagement.
But, Your Excellency,
The justice system in our country may be in its infancy. Wow. Okay. But rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I'm prepared to pass judgment.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
she gonna start speaking Japanese fluently now?
Oh, jeez.
What was that smile? Yes, of course.
Okay, hold on. I need a fancy voice. Won't be British, but it'll be fancy.
Yes, of course. I mean, I'd be delighted to help. Especially if it helps relations between my country and yours.
Miss Brett, you speak Japanese?
She's very scary. Well, of course I do. I am studying in your country, after all.
But then, why have you been speaking through an interpreter until now?
My mother tongue, the Queen's English, is the most refined and elegant language in the world. As a gentlewoman,
Oh, boy.
I try to avoid speaking in your vulgar tones as much as possible. Okay.
Yeah.
But it seems the men in this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of the English gentleman. So I can see that I have to lower myself to communicating with you on your own level.
Oh, you are the epitome of a true English gentlewoman. We are truly honored by this lavish consideration you so graciously afforded us. Yep.
In that case, Miss Brett, I will now ask you to testify in your own words. It's my time. Almost at an hour? Okay. About the events leading up to the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson. Jeez.
So we're finally going to hear her own words on the matter. Things are getting interesting, Ryunosuke. And there will be next episode, which I will have up much sooner. I'm going to get all of these done this month. Again, I am so sorry for taking some time off. But it was my birthday, so yay, happy birthday me. So anyway, I will see you guys all next one. Laters.